Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. On today's episode, I'm going to be repairing that transmission crossmember I broke in a few episodes ago. So if you remember the end of the fuel tank episode for the S10, I mentioned that I had broken the transmission crossmember for the S10. So I'll put a picture up right here. You can see what it was like sitting in the S10 with the transmission member broken. What happened was after I got the fuel pump back together, I took it for a ride. I was having a lot of fun with it. Then I took it up to a relative's to give them a ride in it. I was having a lot of fun. And then I noticed a weird vibration, and I knew it wasn't right for the truck. That was about an hour away, so I drove home with the crossmember in that broken state for about an hour. So I kind of suspected that the crossmember was broken on the way home. And when I got home, sure enough, looked underneath it and it was broken. So we're going to go through a couple different things today. We're going to go through why I chose the design for the crossmember that I did, why it broke in the first place, and how I'm going to make it stronger for the future. So the first thing is, this is the broken crossmember. So as you can see, broke right on one of the joints here. And going through first, why did I choose this design? Because I'm sure I'm going to get some comments of, you could just made a straight crossmember that would have gone right across from frame rail to hold the transmission. That would have been great. There were a few different challenges that led to. So I'd seen this design on Holley's website for a crossmember, and what I liked about this design was it has this raised up portion that allows for extra space for exhaust to go through. So this comes up real close to the cab, to the floor of the cab, drops back down, mounts the transmission, then jumps back up again. If I would have just gone straight, it would have made attaching to the frame a little more difficult, but this also gives room for more exhaust sizes and different areas where I can route it to best make it work with the truck. If I went straight across, I'd only have this small little area that I'd be able to run my exhaust in. And what made it much more difficult to run the exhaust when I did it the first time, and it gives me more room to run the exhaust in the future if I want to do something bigger and where it needs to go. So that's why I chose this design, which may not be the most logical design when you first look at it. So how I made this to begin with, this is a piece of 1x3 channel. So you can see it's got just a channel piece. And what I did was I laid this out in such a way to get the shape that I wanted, and then at each one of these changes in direction was an angle I had to cut and weld on this channel because I have no way to bend a piece of channel to get the way I want it. So when you have all these welds in this design, and I kind of knew this wasn't going to be a great design when I first did it, but I was in a rush. I wanted to get it done, so I just did this even though it wasn't the best. Every one of these points is a stress riser now for the potential to break. A, because nothing is rounded, it's all very sharp angles, and B, it's welded, so that weld presents a weak area in the crossmember, and that's exactly where this failed. It failed exactly on one of the welds that I made, right at one of the joints. And so that's part of why it failed. Another part of why it failed was the weld didn't quite penetrate deep enough. So I don't know if the camera will zoom in, but you can see right there that the weld didn't quite go as far into the metal as I had hoped. I just didn't have it hot enough when I welded it up. So that's why it ended up failing in this area like it did. So this is the driver's side of the crossmember, and it sees the most downward torque from the transmission when it's driving. So it was doing this the whole time, and it just snapped, and the transmission fell down, and it was held up there. So that's the old design, and that's why I think it failed. A very strong reason why it did fail. This is the new design that I'm going with. So it's the same shape as before, but what you'll notice is this is a one-piece design. So this is one piece of plate that I cut this whole thing out of. So in doing that, I eliminate all the welds at all these angle changes, which causes points for failure and stress risers. Another thing that I did is this entire thing is a 1/4 inch taller than my original transmission crossmember. So I went through immediately, just added a 1/4 inch to the entire thing. And then what I did, after talking to my dad, who's a mechanical engineer and does all this kind of stress stuff all the time, what we did was, where we could, we beefed up these corners. So you'll notice that it's not symmetrical, and there are some angles, and that's because in some areas I could go taller on the top but not on the bottom because of the exhaust, or I could go taller on the bottom because the exhaust was in the way, but I couldn't go on the top because of where it sat against the car. So what we did there was we added, where we could, an extra 1/4 inch on top of the 1/4 inch I already did. So you'll see some funny angles, and that's why it has some funny angles. And then finally, what I did to improve the design was I added radiuses at all of the intersections. So the insides have gentler radii, just to make it a smoother transition, and the outside corners, they're sharper because they don't need as much meat. You need that down the bottom to prevent anything from splitting and to reduce the stress risers. So that's the new design. So I'm going to be cutting out another one of these. I have it all laid out already. And then what I'm going to do is, after I cut out the other one, I'm going to bend a piece of metal that will follow the shape and create an I-beam out of these two ends here. And that's going to create the most strength for me for this design, without making a box and making it unnecessarily heavy, which I don't want. It's not a race car, so I don't have to go super as light as I can, but I just don't want to add unnecessary weight that I don't have to. And then I'll add this piece down there. I'll bend it up. I'll weld that in there. And the good thing about the I-beam design, opposed to going back to a channel design or a box design, is I can weld all sides of it. I'll be able to get to every part of it to weld, and I'll be able to get a nice good weld in there. And then for the transmission to mount, I'm going to cut a plate that's going to go about in here. I'll just weld right on the top. So this little section will be a C shape, but everything else will be an I. And I'll also overlap the I piece underneath where the piece is that I'm going to be on top. So I'll have overlapping coverage at my weld area, because even though I'll be welding here, I'll be making this area weak, so I'll overlap it with my centerpiece. So that is why I chose the design I did, why I think it broke, and my poor design to begin with, and a much improved design for my next version of this crossmember. So now that I've got the second side all laid out, I'm going to cut that out, and then I'm going to bend up my centerpieces for the, we'll call it the I-beam shape. Then we'll sandblast the whole thing, weld it together, and paint it, and get it back in the truck.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
Yeah. There's no mercy in this world, just hunger-thirsty persons in different versions. Each new update, that shit worsens. Why? Pull back the curtain and you'll see the different vermin. We all have different burdens that all seem to cause disturbance. Yo, so do me a favor, don't treat me like a neighbor. Don't need the different flavors of your problems just to savor. I've got my own issues, I need it.
Alright, so I got the other side of my cross member all cut out. And I also made the center bent pieces that are going to create my I-beam. So that's what they look like, all finished. And I don't have a brake at my disposal to bend these up. So these are 3/16 plate by 1.5. So I did it the old-fashioned way. Stuck it in the vise just like that. Got it all perpendicular. And then use this nice piece of rod and the trusty old 3-pound hammer and just beat the crap out of it. It actually turned out pretty nice, as you can tell. I was able to bend them both at the same time, so they're both matched and they're symmetrical. Even though my brackets aren't symmetrical, I'm going to try to make the centerpiece as symmetrical as possible. So I got that all worked out. I'm going to sandblast them now, just so that it's easier for me to, just because it's easier now to sandblast them when they're apart than they would be all welded together. And I will clamp it up and we'll get this all welded together and then I can paint it. Alright, so I've got my new cross member all set up. You can see right there what I have done is I'm just using a piece of square tube, rectangular tubing to clamp my entire assembly to, so I make sure it's nice and straight. Because it was bowed when I cut these pieces out of the plate. They actually did bow a little bit from the heat, so I need something to keep it nice and straight. I've got my little bent pieces in here for the I-beam shape that I've got going on here, and I also have my new plate in here, and it's got the holes drilled. You just can't see it because I got the magnets right over those holes. So now it's all set up and I'm ready to weld. I'm not going to do full welds on all of my little intermediate pieces. What I'm going to do is stitch weld it. I don't need to weld it completely. I just need to make sure that I weld all of these corners and I have some nice bead of weld on each side of those, but the rest of it I can just stitch weld. It doesn't need to be, it'll have enough strength not being fully welded all the way through. But my center plate here, I will fully weld that all the way through. So, got it all set up now, and now it's time to have some fun and get to welding. All right, now that I have it all tacked together, I'm much more comfortable to move it around. I still keep the clamps on because I need this to stay straight until it cools down. But now I can actually go through and start putting in my stitch welds. What I also am going to do, I'm not going to weld in the same spot, just because I don't want it to get too much heat and warp too bad. Alright, and I'm done, mostly done, welding. So I've got some, I think my welds came out pretty well. No big booger welds or anything like that. The only thing I couldn't do was I couldn't get down in this area here because of with the tubing and how far it is away. I couldn't get my gun to have a good angle, and I didn't just want to booger it up. You can see I attempted right there, and it didn't go well. So I'll let this thing cool down, and then I can finish up those two welds, and then the last thing I have to do is I need to put these mounting brackets on the end here. So these, I just cut these off my the original Crossmember I had, and they'll just sit on there, and that's what bolts it to the frame. So that'll cool off. I'll put these, it'll cool off so I can take it off and I know it won't warp too bad. I'll weld these on. I'll finish welding those two little spots there and there. I got this all welded up pretty well, and then it'll be paint, and the next time you guys will see this is I'll be putting it back in my truck, and we'll be taking it for a test drive, and hopefully nothing else will break for now. So yeah, here we go. Alright, so as you can see, my new Crossmember is in there. Well, you can kind of see my new Crossmember is in there. So now, if only I could come up with a way to test it. Burnouts will do.